Hey guys, how's everyone doing today? Today we're starting the video out a little bit differently because this is a little bit of a different video. It's going to be a little bit more of an analysis as to what happened, as this race, is a few weeks in the past now. I wasn't able to get a video out at the time due to being a little bit sick and didn't really feel like editing. So we're going to revisit this race today. I'm going to try to keep it a little bit shorter. But today we have a race analysis of Pines on 9 Mideast. This was my first Mideast race of the year. So this is actually only my second race of the year. We had raced Big Buck, and a lot of the topic is on mindset today, bike setup, different things like that. And just how a race can unfold and how it can change, pretty quickly. So we're gonna discuss a little bit of that today, and I'll let you in on some mindset, some bike setup. First thing I'd like to discuss is bike setup. The race before this was Big Buck. Ended up having a pretty good ride. Had some problems there, obviously, as you saw in the video, but felt like I rode well and was happy with my bike. This race was a total 180. Totally different conditions, totally different reaction to the bike. I won't get into details. I mentioned that we're getting better at this as the season has progressed, and I think at current time we're in a much better spot. But I struggled a fair bit at this race, and how when you start off a race you're real confident. I start off with a great start today, but as you see, things kind of unravel quickly. I have moments where I try to reset during the race, at least during this first lap, and start getting things going. But you'll see as I progress through the lap, and I'll explain in further detail, things just weren't working out, and how your mindset can kind of follow when something bad happens. So hope you enjoy this new style of video, or different style of video, and let's get into it.
He might be coming back. I got you. Second, and roll number 1 is off and rolling at Pines on 9.
So let's start off first of all with me pulling probably one of the best starts I've ever had in my life from the outside, just absolutely perfect. In the lead here currently, as you can see, it was a little bit slippery that day, a little bit muddy, very rutted and soft too. So you can see I'm all excited, pumped up. We're racing. I got a great start. There's a lot of people here, so I'm excited, pumped up, and just trying to hammer down right now. So I start coming down this downhill. The guy points me to the line. I kind of didn't really see the line he pointed, but it looked pretty muddy. Have a little bit of a slide out right there, and I've already lost 3 positions. And at this point, I'm not really thinking about it much. In all honesty, at this point, I'm thinking this is a positive for me. It's a tricky track. Maybe I can follow these guys and see where the bad lines are, and maybe try to take some better lines and see what happens there. You can see I've had a couple weird moments with my bike, and this is when some small thoughts started creeping into my mind about my bike and how I was feeling. I knew it was a really tough track, and I knew it was going to be a tough track, but I just wasn't feeling super confident. But, you know, I'm following Cameron here, and Cameron's a very good rider, and I'm like, if I can just stick with him, I'm fine. So trying to block out those bad thoughts about my bike, but in the back of my head, you can see I'm kind of kicking around, kind of weird on some of them, not really settling into these ruts. It's in the back of my mind for sure. You can hear some revving behind me. That would be Austin Norris on the Kawasaki. He's taking some bad lines, and he's putting the pressure on. I've lost the group in front of me now rather quickly. And at this point, I'm still pretty headstrong, still trying to push through it and, you know, figure it out. And maybe it's just me and I just need to pick the pace up. But, you know, he is putting the pressure on, and now that I've lost the group behind me, it's a little different. I am a rider that if I hold you up for a long time on the first lap, I might let you go because I'm trying to stay loose and not tighten up and ruin the rest of my race for trying to hold someone off on the first lap. I go back and forth on that a little bit, but yeah, he's putting the pressure on now, so, you know, maybe I'm not thinking quite as much about the chasing in front of me because I really am not chasing anyone at this point. Holy gee. So I know he's all over me. Let him by here on that line. And at this point, I can tell I'm struggling. You see me clip these trees right here. I'm just a little off, but in my mind, I'm going to let this rider by and try to tag on and learn and see if I can figure it out. You can see coming up the hill, I was bouncing a little bit, and you can hear me kind of take a deep breath, just trying to get reset and refocused, because you can tell the focus is starting to slip. You know, I've lost a handful of positions after leading and getting pulled away from rather quickly. Take a little nervous look back, and you can see what I'm talking about there. Just trying to reset, trying to find a groove and not get freight trained by a bunch of riders all at once. Take a pretty dumb line, and Grant Pruitt gets by me. So this actually is a good point for me for a few minutes here. I think I started to reset and started to figure it out and started to ride better. And this was what I was talking about with Austin, just trying to get a rider in front of me to maybe match them and try to learn some stuff and try to get in a flow instead of, going backwards. unfortunately, this mistake really kind of sent me over the edge a little bit. As you could hear, I was kind of frustrated, with myself. That was just dumb. Just random kind of weird things happen. And my mindset's kind of out the window at this point. I knew I wasn't feeling very comfortable with my bike. You see, I hit the camera with my handlebar because the front end bounced up a little bit there. And I just have continued to go backwards. And it's pretty frustrating at this point. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not happy with myself. I hear more guys revving behind me, and I'm just not in a good headspace with myself, the bike, and a lot of different factors. And a lot of this from here, it just kind of snowballs into more and more passes. Here comes Dustin Simpson from the row back, and it was a little too much to handle at that moment. You can hear the frustration. He didn't really do that much wrong, I would say. The revving was very frustrating, especially at the time when you're not in a good headspace. And I try not to rev anybody in my class. Some revving is okay, but it was getting a little excessive at times for me, especially at that time. I was pretty frustrated. And yeah, my mindset's kind of out the window at this point, and I'm not riding like I should be. I'm not riding like myself. And I think a lot of this stems from the start of the race, I was a little uncomfortable, and I couldn't quite push that pace like I felt like I needed to. And so then you're just a level off, and you see mistakes like that, and kind of casually just, meandering my way through the trail now, just not feeling it, And I think a lot of it stems from being confident in your bike, or lack of confidence, and then being able to fight through a little bit of adversity. When you go from first, I don't know, I think I was 8th or 9th or even further back on the first lap, you get passed by that many dudes, and then guys from other classes, it gets in your head. And so at this point, I just needed a hard reset, but you don't get those in these types of races. We're still on the first lap here, and mindset's already out the window. And just for a point of reference, it took me till the third lap and my pit stop to start to get in any form of a flow. See, I'm clipping trees, I'm like, oh, come on, get it together. But yeah, it took till the third lap to get in any sort of flow or rhythm, and even then, I was still limited by what I felt like the bike could do, and had a few more moments even after that. So, but I just needed a hard reset, and you don't get those. And so, you can see I'm just kind of putting around and riding far off of my capabilities, and just in a bad spot. And that's just how quickly things can change. I mean, we're not even 20 minutes into the video, into my race, and the race is kind of over in my mind. So it was a lot of factors, obviously, as you've seen: bike getting past, riders being aggressive, and if you're just not on your game quite like you need to be, that stuff can happen. So let this be a learning lesson from me. You can't win the race on the first lap, but you can lose it, and this is about as true as it can be without having any crashes. now my last sort of takeaway for you guys at the end of this video here is to not let moments or races like this define you too much. Not every race is going to be a factor like, oh, your bike's not right, and it can be easy to blame things that aren't really causing the problem. So don't let it define you. It's just one race. It can be multiple races. I wouldn't say I've had the most perfect start to the season, but I still know what I'm capable of, and I still know that I'm working hard towards achieving the goals that I have. So just finding ways to reset. I even reset in the middle of this race and put in some okay laps towards the end and passed a lot of guys back that had passed me. And finish the race. Just find those ways to reset. Don't let it define you, and don't quit showing up and keep putting in the work. It can click the next time, and you have to know those factors that make you tick like that. So I'm learning for sure, and I've learned a lot of those factors, and I'm still learning. So appreciate you checking this out, and hope you enjoyed it.